Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We will call the October 17th meeting of the Common Council to order. I will ask our clerk to call the roll to determine a quorum.
Alderperson Probst.
Here.
Reinke.
Here.
Rote.
Here.
Vitale.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
Barzak.
He is excused.
Chaplesky.
Also excused.
Haas.
Here.
Lysick.
Here.
May.
Here.
8 present, 2 excused.
We have a quorum. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening, which will be led by Alderperson Probst.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll move on to item D on our agendas, public hearings. We have one item this evening. I will ask the clerk to read number 1.
A hearing on the year 2018 operating plan for the downtown West Allis Business Improvement District and to adopt the special assessment method as stated therein, final.
Mr. Schloss.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the Common Council. Tonight we are doing the annual process that is guided by statutes for approving the downtown West Allis Business Improvement District special assessment for fiscal year 2018. The downtown is part of the Wisconsin Main Street area, and as a business improvement district, the businesses or property owners in the downtown pay a special assessment to help promote the area. They govern the area and help clean up and do snow removal and things like that. The 2017 and 2018 operating plan, it starts with a proposed budget. It has a description of the activities that are planned for the upcoming year and some of the summary of accomplishments to date. Just for your knowledge, the Business Improvement District are the properties along Greenfield Avenue between 70th and 76th Street. And on the 70th Street side, it proceeds to right up to MATC on the north and down to halfway down the block on South 70th Street, like a T. The budget process starts with the Business Improvement District conducting an annual goal-setting session, followed by bid committees developing their activities and their budgets, which are submitted to the bid executive director, and then to the bid board for approval, and then to the Common Council for approval. The proposed budget for the Business Improvement District includes salaries for professional services, operating expenses, design committee, promotion, economic, and other assistance programs such as signage assistance in the downtown. This is a comparison between 2017 and 2018 on those particular items. The total budget for the Business Improvement District over 2017 is a slight increase up to $140,650 with less retained earnings of $38,849 for a total levy to the special assessments of $101,800.31. If you look at the assessment values between 2016 and 17, it's pretty consistent. There's a small drop of $500 between the 2 years, and you can see how the value has maintained pretty much since 2012. The special assessment would be $5.46 per 1,000 of assessed value. You can see how the assessment value has related the past 3 years there between $5.37. No increase since between 2017 and 2018. The annual plan and 5-year plan within the operating plan shows that the downtown is going to work to create short videos to market downtowns and open space, our businesses in the downtown and open spaces, as well as develop a Friends of the Downtown program to raise funds. They do an expanded outreach program to do cross-marketing. They've started a small business Saturday event that was very successful. Joint marketing efforts with the city with such things as a la carte, and their goal is to create a visitor center, hopefully in the downtown. They have a 5-year plan that includes, again, comprehensive advertising, broader marketing. Their goal is to maybe purchase a building in the downtown for an incubator space to help create small retailers in the district. They also have recommendations on developing some design standards, and they're working on signage guidelines in the downtown. And again, to continue to seek renovations and investments in the downtown. They do have a benchmark or performance metrics that they maintain. You can see like a sliding rule here on each of the particular items of their goals: increase private investment, improve district image, and they believe, based on their assessment, that they are making strides on a number of those issues. These are some of the activities in the downtown. Again, they had over 10,000 people attend a la carte. They had one of their busiest car shows in 2017, and they look to maintain those successful activities in 2018. I'll gladly answer any questions from the council relative to the bid operating plan.
Thank you, Mr. Schloss. Are there any questions from the common council on our public hearing?
Mayor Devine?
Alderman Weigel?
I didn't have a question, I just want to make a few comments. As the council member most directly affected by the bid and its actions, I'd like to commend them. As a 28-year-old business owner, property owner, and resident of the downtown, I can say that downtown has never looked as good as it does right now. The programs, the events, the energy, we've some new projects coming along. It's, you know, when I first came to the downtown 28 years ago, I was like, oh boy, here's another fee on my bill, you know, there's more money I gotta pay. And there may be a little bit of that yet, but I think the bid's a very vital and active and important organization for the downtown. And I'd like to commend the current bid staff, their volunteers, former bid staff, and all the work that they've done in the past and the things we're looking forward to in the future. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Are there any other comments or questions from the council? Seeing none, are there any comments or questions from the members of the audience? Okay, seeing none, we will close our public hearing and we will move to item E, which is citizen participation. This is the opportunity for residents to address the council on matters of interest to them. We ask that you keep your comments to approximately 5 minutes. Does anybody wish to address the council under citizen participation this evening?
Robert Brown, 2160 South 86th Street. And really didn't want to come tonight, but I thought I better because the time is running out. This notice of claim I filed was 6 months ago. And I have to look, you know, I have no other choice but to start getting ready to file this in federal court. Seems there seems to be no other way to do it. Most lawyers that want this, that I've talked to, want over $100,000 to take this case because it's a federal civil rights case without a doubt. And this is going to be a first time in the history, probably the state of Wisconsin, where people have come out of that are registering to vote and attack people on a public sidewalk. Now, I've got 2 affidavits I filed with the alderman today. This is the last thing I'll be filing on this. And one was from somebody that was with me. His name was Jake. And he points out in the affidavit, I'll skip a lot, that he, I came and got him after I called the election commission in Madison, because there was a sign on the lawn from the school board had put up favoring the election. I asked him, can I put one that opposes it? He said, sure. As long as they got that one up, I did that. According to his affidavit, what he says, the lady ran out of Central High School and Bob yelled, stop, that's stealing. She angrily shoved the sign at Bob after ripping it out of the ground. Now that's the sign I had put in the ground next to the one the school board put there. I then, as he states in his affidavit here, that Bob, because he has trouble standing, you know, I've got one leg is over double as big as the other one from the knee down because the blood ain't circulating. I'm very wobbly. And he said we walked to the lamp post, which is about 150 feet away too. And I stood there, and then I called my wife to come out with a chair because I can't stand for a few minutes without leaning on something. Now, I did file an affidavit. The alderman should have got one. I gave one for everybody. It talks about the same thing as I mentioned before with his statement from Jake. And we put a sign out and that she came out and ripped it and shoved it back at me. We're talking about Kathleen now, the one that claims that she didn't know anything about the rules, that it would be okay to go and harass people and attack them, even though they're 150 feet away. Now the law statute 12.3 says that she can only do anything, even if it's a minimal amount of things, if you're less than 100 feet away. So she was violating that ordinance. I'm thinking of going down seeing the police did such a horrible job, and they wouldn't let me in as part of my affidavit to talk to the person who assaulted me. I couldn't even go in there. He said, you can't go in and take pictures. He wouldn't, I had to sit on the steps. I got somebody else that signed that seen me sitting there for 25 minutes while he's in there. I don't know what he's doing with this lady. Certainly wasn't investigating very thoroughly what happened. Now, even the Election Commission was quite disturbed about the police department and their handling of the case. But I will go to the district attorney in Milwaukee and start turning this in. They should have been notified to begin with about this whole case. I was trying to be nice and civil, and
Mr. Brown, you have 1 minute remaining.
sometimes it doesn't do any good. I notice a lot of people lately been protesting without following the laws, and they seem to get a pass on it. I'm on a public sidewalk, which I have absolute right to be on the public sidewalk. And I was holding a sign that said, vote no for the referendum, which I have a right to do. But she has no right to come out and physically attack me while I'm standing there. So I think you aldermen are considering this shortly, or you'll be considering it. Remember, the next step is federal court. I can't help it, something's gotta happen. I got over $5,000 in bills from this incident, more than that. The bills have been sent recently to the city of West Allis, and I don't know what's happening with them. Nobody calls me. I don't hear from anybody. I'm sort of left out in the middle of nowhere. What did I do wrong that day? I followed what the Constitution of the United States says I could do. And for that, I was injured, and I've got about well over 5,000 in bills and what's being done about it. So far,
Mr. Brown, that's time.
Thank you. Does anybody else wish to address the council under citizen participation?
Violet Brown, 2160 South 86th Street. I went voting with my husband April 4th. We were exercising our Constitution, and we just said no to the referendum, and everything was going fine. I even said to the women, the boy sitting in the middle, thank you for your work that you're doing for West Allis. It's an honor to have you doing this. But anyway, my husband had a sign legally far enough away from the doors, and the woman, after I left, came out and took the sign away from my husband. Now, we were just elderly people going voting, and we said no to the referendum. We didn't do anything. We had no group of people with us. We weren't trying to protest or upset anything, but the poll worker was wrong. She left her post, she left her job, and came out to do this to my husband. You know, you don't ask if you're a Republican or a Democrat. You stay neutral. And if you don't like what we do, you still stay neutral. They're going in there to vote, not to say what we want. It's what we do because we are taxpayers. And this is what happened to my husband. I hope this doesn't ever happen to any other elderly people when they go voting. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else wish to address the council under citizen participation? Okay, seeing none, we will close citizen participation. We will move on to item F on our agendas. The standing committees will be meeting during recess. Those room numbers are listed on page 1. Going to item G, the mayor's report. Handful of items this evening, mostly regarding Halloween. The Community Alliance Against Drugs, CAD, is having their Halloween in the Park On October 21st from 4 o'clock until 8 o'clock, it is going to be at Greenfield Park Avenue, Picnic Area 3 on Lincoln Avenue. They will have hay rides, they will have music, concessions, cookie decorating, and a costume parade. And I think I read there were going to be treat bags provided to the first 200 kids that show up, or 500 kids, or get there early. The official trick-or-treat in West Allis is on Sunday, October 29th from 4 o'clock until 7 o'clock. Residents that are participating in this are reminded to leave on their porch lights. Parents are also reminded to closely supervise their children's activities and inspect their treats and take precautions while they are in areas where there are a lot of vehicles traveling. I realize that many neighborhoods are doing their own areas of trick-or-treat and their own programming, but please turn on your porch light if you intend to participate. We talked earlier about the bid. The West Allis Downtown Halloween Hunt is on Saturday, the 28th, from 10 a.m. until noon. Kids and their families are invited to show off their costumes and trick-or-treat at 30 different downtown shops. Visit the Downtown West Allis Business Improvement District website for further details on that. And lastly, non-Halloween, not scary. On Wednesday, October 25th, the West Allis Police Department is holding their neighborhood partnership meeting. That is Wednesday, October 25th, 6 till 8, and that is going to be held at Lane Intermediate School in the cafeteria. The chief and many of the deputy chiefs from the department will be there to talk to you about what they've been seeing in the city and also hear questions and concerns that you may have about what's been happening in the city. Again, the neighborhood partnership meeting is Wednesday, the 25th of October, from 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock in the cafeteria at Lane Intermediate School. Concludes the mayor's report. Do we have, moving to item H, any reports from the alderpersons this evening?
Mayor Devine?
Alderman Weigel?
One quick thing, which you probably neglected to mention because you were there. Just this afternoon, the West Allis edition of Bubbler, the bicycle share system, kicked off 3 p.m. at the farmers market. So it's part of the B-Cycles family, and it's also integrated with the City of Milwaukee and Wauwatosa's Bubbler bike share. It's essentially a short-term bicycle rental system. West Allis currently has 8 bike stations. You've probably seen them, those kind of powder blue, sky blue bicycles with the little basket on the front. You see people riding around the east side of Milwaukee, Wauwatosa Village, and now you'll be seeing people riding around West Allis with them. So, of course, there's an app for it. I think it's about $3 a ride. You can buy a month, I think, for like $15, or you can buy a whole year for $80. If you're interested, it's really pretty interesting. These kinds of things have been around for several years in not every city, but Chicago, New York, LA, Tokyo, Paris, and it's good to see it expanding here in southeastern Wisconsin. Eventually, I think the network will fill out, so it will be like contiguous between us and Milwaukee and Wauwatosa, and I know Shorewood is about to come online also. So they're meant to be short-term use. It's not like you rent the bike for the weekend. It'd be more like you just take the bike to the farmer's market. So it's very exciting to see this coming here, and I know the mayor was there. Alderperson Reinke was there. Saw her riding a bicycle this afternoon. I think I picked up a couple gray hairs on that one, but again, it's just another good quality of life thing that we're adding here in West Allis. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I did leave that for you or for Alderperson Reinke, since you were the two that actually rode the bikes that are sitting up here. Any other reports from the alderpersons?
Mayor Devine.
Alderperson Probst?
I'd like to extend a great big thank you to Troop Leader Dave Lucen and Boy Scout Troop 580 out of Mount Hope Church. Special thank you to Dave Stoffaker and his son Harrison. They invited me along this past Saturday to a Stars and Stripes honor flight. I was able to welcome home 150 vets, including 3 female Korean War vets, which was of special interest for me, as my family members have been involved in that particular conflict. I'd also like to announce that on November 7th, the Jefferson Elementary Girl Scout troops will be here for our council meeting, as well as a program on women in power. So they are looking for individuals to step forward and help them out by providing good examples for young girls to show them leadership opportunities for their futures. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other reports from the alderpersons?
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Lysick?
I move for approval of the minutes of the Common Council regular meeting of October 3rd, 2017.
Second.
There's a motion with a second by Alderman May. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item J, I'll ask for a motion to place items 3 and 4 on file and refer items 5 through 8 to the city attorney.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Probst, second by Alderperson Ranky. Is there any discussion on that motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item K, standing committee reports. We have a few items from the Administration and Finance Committee. Alderman Haas.
Mayor Devine, I'll read those out after recess.
Thank you.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
I move that we stand in recess until conclusion of the committee meetings.
Second.
There's a motion with a second by Alderperson Ranky. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We are in recess.